But we are here to talk some hockey. Let's have a look at the results from the weekend's action. So we had on Saturday, the Mustangs beat the Adrenaline 5-2. The Bears squeaked out a 4-3 win at Arena. The North Stars defeated the Brave at Hiss 4-2 with some empty net goals added. The Melbourne Ice defeated the Brisbane Lightning 6-1. Perth Thunder defeated the Ice Dogs 8-2. And on Sunday, Ice defeated Adrenaline 6-3 to keep rolling. Thunder squeaked out a win at Arena 4-3. The Brave defeated the Ice Dogs at home 5-1. The Brisbane Lightning scored with 12 seconds left in the third to defeat the Mustangs 2-1. And the Bears defeated the North Stars on home ice 6-1. Your thoughts on the weekend's results? First, you, Doogie.
The Bears keep rolling on. They're looking really good. The best team in the competition at the moment. They sit atop everyone on points and have won 8 in a row. They look really good. That Brisbane Lightning win over the Mustangs is massive for the Lightning. With the Brave starting to roll now back into a final spot, the Brave getting that late winner for the Lightning is massive, and it could kickstart their season.
Yeah, I mean that's 100% right there, Doogie. It was a massive win for the Brave. I actually can't think of it. Was that their first home win for the season? I think it might have been. But anyway, it also represents the halfway mark for the season for the Brave. So they've now played half their games. So it was an important victory that got them into the top 3 in the conference. So you can't ask for more than that from them. But one thing that strikes me about looking at all of our mega round games here was that 6 of these games out of the 10 were all settled by close margins.
The ones that stand out too are, and I know they didn't get the results on their home ice, but the Rhinos.
Yeah,
two tough losses, and I know the Rhinos did cop a little bit of stick from a couple of people about some comments from Ron Kaprowski, but they're turning it around and they're competitive. The Rhinos, they're not just walkovers.
Yeah, and look at the teams they versed: the Bears and the Thunder, 2 teams challenging for the Cup this season, and they lost 4-3 on both occasions. Man, that's good hockey.
And they had leads too.
Gotta love it. And then, I mean, the 5-1 result for the Brave, it does flatter the Brave somewhat. They did score 2 empty net goals late on in the last 2 minutes of the game to kind of blow that out a bit. So that was also a pretty close game right to the end.
And we'll just go to the chat. Cornick, Kinniston, I love seeing just 1 goal difference for the Rhinos. They're so much more competitive, and I love it. And they had chances too. The Rhinos had chances to equalize, like they were pressuring right at the end. So unlucky not to get something from the weekend. And then we've got the Lightning win was huge for the Stangs as well for all the wrong reasons. That is correct. We talked a little bit about that in the Slack chat, that 10 points back in May in a strong Hellier conference. You wouldn't say it's all over, but it kind of feels that way.
Well, and that's crazy because just last week, the Mustangs had been starting to build some momentum again to actually start getting themselves closer to those top 3 in Hellier. And then this loss is almost like a big sucker punch to all that.
And we've got Anthony Russell from Banners on the Wall. Give him a follow for all things UK hockey. The Mustangs continue to make me scratch me head on the back end. And there's the Rhinos. God loves to try. I can't wait for them to spring a massive shock at some stage. Yeah, well, the Rhinos have shocked a couple of teams so far this year. I don't think they're done. The way that they played, that Perth Thunder result, that's a big one. Like, I know they lost, but from the game on Saturday where the Perth Thunder looked, after that game, I went into the Slack chat and I said Perth Thunder are going to take home the Good Old Cup. based on how I've seen them play, and they look good and they run deep. They run ridiculously deep. And for them to, for the Rhinos to battle them that close and to have, as you said, Doogie, to have a lead in that contest is pretty huge.
I must admit, I do wonder how hard this week was for the North Stars to both play at home against one of their major rivals in the Brave and win, and then to go traveling down to Sydney to verse the leaders of the other conference, and then they got beaten quite considerably.
Yeah, it's a
I
massive
did think
result.
I did think that was a real big litmus test.
Yeah, the Bears and Gigi, you probably see the Bears a bit closer than some of us. But the Bears just roll out their lines and they just look solid. They look really deep. They look really good across all their lines.
Yeah, they've won games without being at their best. They've had a couple of weekends where it's like, okay, things aren't 100%, but they keep on getting wins. And I
Isn't
think
that what
even
champions do, Gordon?
yeah,
They
well,
win even when they're not looking great or playing the best.
none of my sports teams are champions. So why would I know what a champion looks like? But as I say that, it's a Leafs fan and Toronto PWHL fan. So, but no, they looked
I got to
really
feel
good on
bad for Minnesota
Sunday.
on that front.
Yeah. But there was I think Ryan Annesley scored a goal in the third period. I think it was a power play goal to make it 5-1 for the Bears, and the reaction of Annesley after scoring that goal was it meant a lot to him. That game meant a lot, and Annesley is a good kind of a touchstone for the dressing room and the team and how they're feeling. And so I think that they were really geared up for that game. As you said, like the top of the conference clash, and yeah, they pulled out the W. We've got Tory Diver, my fellow Leafs fan, go Leafs, and Andrew John Egan. Good evening to you as well. Anything else from here before we move on to the standings?
I think it's amazing that the Lightning got another victory this weekend. Like, it really kind of, they were stuck on that 11 points in the conference for quite a while, and now they've been able to gain some momentum back. Because, the day before, they got comprehensively beaten by the Ice, which seemed to be how most of the games had been going recently for them. So to be able to turn that around could be quite big, especially for the Root Conference.
Yeah, and Curtis Mager was great. How good was Aaron Rapchuk scoring that goal with 12 seconds left? You've got no time to respond. I mean, they did pull the goalie. They rushed down the ice, but couldn't get anything past Mago. But yeah, good win by the Lightning. They lost Jordan McTaggart, who's been a big import for them.
Yeah.
So picked up Chance Adrian, who scored a goal, I think, against the Ice. So we'll have a look to see how he does. And Batu Gendanov was fantastic as well.
Mr. Mongolia.
Mr. Mongolia, he was great.
I must admit, though, I feel bad for the Ice Dogs from this weekend because they were quite competitive against the Brave. Like, they were in it with a chance to win it, and it all just fell apart.
We've got some comments in the chat just on that. We will get to the Bears versus Brave game this weekend. Rye, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. Rye William, and Julie Sugden, some love for the Lightning as well. Adds the comment that everyone loves Batu. He seems great. You can't miss him on the ice.
It's a big unit.
He's a big unit. Anthony Russell, the Bears and Ice is showing the old adage is true. Winners win. Good teams find a way when they're hurt, playing bad, or behind the eight ball. I agree. And Corey Katina, chiming in on the crosstown rivals, the Mustangs, with the defensive breakdown. Rhinos and Bees diaphragm off of causing some havoc. Yes, I agree.
Yeah, and I think that breakdown is the same with the Ice Dogs as well. Like, they conceded 3 goals in 3 minutes. Before then, it was so even. It blows my mind that you can go on, one thing happens and then it just really slips away from a team really quickly.
Yeah, and you mentioned, Sean, it was a different game at the Brave Cave. Like, there's normally not much neutral zone kind of activity. It's more shinny. But yeah, you comment on the difference too.
Yeah, 100%. I couldn't believe how much play was just in the neutral zone or around the neutral zone, as opposed to being at either end. I just went, what is happening here? And I also think it comes down to both teams having very aggressive forechecks, which is just breaking up all the play, and just not allowing that flow to get down quickly. It was great. I mean, it was different.
Yeah. Well, you got the win. The Brave got the win. So
yeah, and I mean, Alex was phenomenal when called upon on the weekend.